श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय क्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे. So yesterday we were seeing this story of Nahusha, the Indra. He was Indra. This Indra's name is Nahusha. Okay, the story of that Nahusha and the rishis. What happened? Why are we seeing this story? Because this fellow accepted something which is right to be wrong, which is accepted by the traditional teachers as right to be wrong. So therefore, we are seeing this. What is the effect of seeing something which is right to be wrong? So that is explained here. Rishayastu Parishrantaha. So we saw that these Deva Rishis, these Maharishis, the Brahma Rishis, etc., these people, they were tired because of carrying this evil king, evil Indra called Nahusha. Okay, and they were tired and they were sitting. While sitting, they were discussing, and then at that point of time, they asked this Nahusha, this evil king Nahusha, some shame approach. They asked out. While they were discussing, they said, okay, what do you think? Oh, you king, you think you know everything, right? What do you think about this? About what? This that which is said in the Brahmana Bhaga and the Mantra Bhaga, the Upanishads and the Vedic mantra. In this, not the Upanishads, the Samhita Bhaga and the Brahmana Bhaga, in both parts of the Vedas, it is said regarding the Prokshana, Gavam Prokshani, regarding the sprinkling of mantra, the sacred water on the cows. So, do you accept it to be valid proof or not? Because before using that as a sacrificial object, material, oblation material, you have to sprinkle water. So then you have to cut and remove the parts. So what do you think about that? Nahusha Nahusha immediately said, no, it is not valid proof. Why do you say? Because he thinks Brahmins and this is a traditional acceptance, so he accepts that as a backdrop. He says, see, Brahmins and the cows, they came from the same family, they are same. Therefore, if you are going to treat Brahmin in a different way and the cows in a different way, that's not right. They should be treated equally. Like when a Brahmin enters your house, you give him madhuparka. Madhuparka means some sweet juice kind of. Okay. So you give him some water or juice. Similarly, if this cow is brought into this place, then it should also be fed with some water or something. It should not be sprinkled with water and cut. So that is his idea. Okay, you accept the Brahmins to be the reciter of mantras and the cow to be the slaughtered thing. How can that be? So the rishis, in one voice, they said, Rishaya Uchuhu, all these rishis, they said in one voice, you are following the path of adharma and you have therefore given up the dharma. Because you are accepting that which is accepted by pramana, by the ancestor, great rishis of the ancestors, you are accepting that to be apramana. So after saying this, Agastya takes over. Agastya is a great rishi. He says, Tato Vedamanas san Rishivissaha Parthivah Atha Mam Asprishan Murdhnim Padena Dharma Piditaha. Tata Vedamana. Now he is bringing his logic and the other rishis are talking his logic. During this period, this king, while discussing with them, with his leg, he touched my head, Agastya's head. Okay, he touched his head. And in tradition, touching something with your leg is accepted to be a very great sin, because everywhere there is Ishvara. Okay, now you are touching with your leg with disrespect. Touching with the leg means it's disrespect. With disrespect, you are kicking that person, means you are kicking Ishvara himself. So the tradition, that is why when you keep your feet on the ground, you pray. When you touch the book or the money or the table, something which is respected, we immediately ask for forgiveness. We just request of forgiveness. We touch our cheeks or our eyes, something like that. Okay. So that is asking for forgiveness. That's a atonement act. Now this is what is a thing. Whoever is accepted to be superior in any which way, they should be respected. Whoever or whatever or whichever which is accepted to be superior, they should be respected. Now he showed a disrespect to that Agastya by touching his leg with his head with his leg. Okay. Tena bhutatacchetaha sannishrekascha mahipatihi tatastam aham udvignam avocham bhayapeditam. So he lost his luster and all that, and he was afraid a lot. And I told him this: yasmat purvai kritam margam mahi maharshibir anushtitam adushtam doshesi vayacha murdhi asprashaspada. Yasmat, because of which पूर्वैः महर्षिभिः अनुष्ठितं कृतं मार्गम अदुष्टं मार्गम दोषयसि. Because the rishis of yore, which they have, the laws which they have written, kritam, they have written, and anushtitam, they have practiced. The laws they have made and they have practiced, those laws, those rules, that path, margam, that path which is defectless, adushtam, which is defectless path, that doshayasi, you are showing defects, you are seeing defects in that, in the defectless. And yacha murdni sprashaspada, with your leg you touched my head also. Yachapi tom rushin mudaha brahmakalpan durasadan vahan krutva vahayasi tena swargad hata prabaha. And this is not all. Also, moreover, you did rishin, hey muda, oh you idiot, rishin, brahmakalpan durasadan, who are equivalent to the Brahmas, the creator himself. And the situation which they have achieved is very difficult to gain. Even Brahma is bound by the creation. These fellows are not even bound by that. They are free birds. Those people, that difficult to gain, that state they have gained, those people, vahan kirtva vahesi, you have made them as your palakin bearers. So vahesi, and you have made them to carry your palakin. Tena swargat hatah pravaha. Therefore, because of these sins, you do a wrong act, you gain the wrong result. So because of these wrong acts, not one or two, there are three wrong acts. Therefore, because of this swarga hatah prabha, you will lose your luster and you will lose the state of being the head of the heavens. Okay. त्वं स्वपापपरिभ्रष्टः क्षीणपुण्यो महीपते दशवर्षसहस्राणि सर्परूपधरो महीम्. And स्वपापपरिभ्रष्टः क्षीणपुण्यः, हे महीपते, you have been performing the sinful acts. Because of the sinful acts, you have lost your state, and because of which kshina punya, all the punyas which you have performed are destroyed. And we know kshine punya martyaloke vishanti, if the punyas are lost, you will come to the mortal world. Similarly, this fellow also is cursed to go to mortal world. What? For how long? Dasha varsha sahasrani, for 10,000 years. For 10,000 years, sarparupa dharo mahim, you have to go to the earth, be born in the mortal world, not as a human being but as a snake. This is too bad. 10,000 years of being a snake. But the beauty is, see, when we curse, we just curse, that's all. When the great peoples curse, they also give this curse is called as shapa. And they also give an escape route called as vimochana. It is not just a lock, they also give you a key. So there is a papa vimochana, there is a shapa vimochana, we call it. So he is giving that secret also. When will you get relieved of this curse? He says, vicharishyati tirnascha punah swargam avapsisi drushtva yushtiram nama tava vamsha samudbhavam. Vicharishyati, mahim vicharishyati, you will be roaming around for 10,000 years as a snake in the earth, mortal world. But tirnascha punah swargam avishyati, after spending that period, you will cross over and come back to the heavens. You will be Lord of heavens again. When Yudhishtiram Nama Tava Vamsha Samudbham Drishtva, after seeing this fellow called Yudhishthira who is in your lineage. After seeing him, you will get relieved from this curse. Okay. Iti Shri Mahabharata. This is what is said in Mahabharata. Atha Shraddheyam Atmajnanam. This is said to show how much of Shraddha, what kind of Shraddha you should have to have towards the teaching of Vedas. Now, if that is the situation, should we even talk about the Vedanta? That is why he says you have to have great Shraddha towards the Atma Jnana, the knowledge of self. Okay, the self knowledge, you should have great surrender towards it. And it is not just said in Shruti, this Smriti, it is also said in another Smriti. He is giving Bhagavad Gita, same Mahabharata. Ashraddhanah purushaha dharmasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mritya samsara vartmani. This is said by Bhagavan. Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Vachana. This is said by Bhagavan himself. That is said by Agastya, a great rishi. Okay. What did Bhagavan say? Ashraddhanah purushaha asya dharmasya he parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mritya samsara vartmani. Hey Parantapa, Parantapetiti Parantapa, one who destroys the, scorns the enemy, means destroyer of, slayer of, destroyer of enemy. You have the strength to destroy the enemies, and the greatest enemies are the anger and desire. You have the ability to destroy them. Reminding him after reminding him that he says, and you have the strength to destroy the adharma also. Ashraddhanaha Purushaha, Dharmasya asya Ashraddhana Purusha, the people who don't have the Shraddha, surrender towards right, proper attitude towards this Dharma. The path, Dharma here is the path which leads you to the liberation, the path of knowledge and the path of karma. That is Dharma here. Okay. Now, one who does not have that belief in it, Mam aprapya, without gaining me, the Ishvara, the truth, the self, without gaining me, nivartante. Nitaram vartante iti nivartante. Nivartante means they return back. Here, nivartante means they remain continuously, always. Where? Mritya samsara vatmani, in the path. Vatmani means in the path. Samsara, in the path of samsara, mrityu of death. Birth and death. The samsara, which is of the nature of birth and death, they will stay put in this path. They will not get liberated from this samsara. This is for people who don't have Shraddha. For people who have Shraddha, that is a different thing. That is why Bhagavan gives so much of importance to Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparasayitendriya. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. A person who has Shraddha will gain knowledge. Aitrayekecha. This is not just said in the Smritis, it is also said in the Shrutis. Aitrayekecha. In Aitreya Upanishad also it is said. Aitreya Upanishad or Aitreya Brahmana, it is said in the Aitreya Brahmana. Esha Panta, Esha Karma, Etat Brahma, Etat Satyam, Tasman na Pramadyet, Tannatiyan, Nahi Atyayan, Purveye Atyayan Ste Parababuhu. Aitreya says, Esha Pantha. This is the path. The path that which leads you to the knowledge. Etat Karma. This is the karma. The karmas which are both for knowledge and the otherworldly. The karmas which by performing karmas which yajnam danas tapaschaiva pavanani manishi, like that it is said in the Gita also. The karmas like yajna, dana, donation, etc. These karmas which will purify you, give you chitta shuddhi, make you eligible to gain the knowledge. Etat karma and etat brahma. The result which you gain through knowledge after gaining the purity of heart is this etat brahma, this Brahman. And what is this nature of Brahman? Etat satyam. This is truth. Truth means this is the absolute truth. Absolute truth means that which is not negated in all three periods of time. Trikalabad dhyattam satyattam. Okay? Tasma, therefore, na pramadyet. Therefore, don't be careless. Be very careful. Tanna atiyat. Never dismiss this. Never cross over this. Stomp over this. Nahi atyayan. Purveye atyan. Never do this. Never give up this. Because purve atyayanste parababhuhu. In early days, whoever, earlier period, whoever gave this up, they got lost. Parabhahu means they got defeated. Defeated from what? Defeated from the path of knowledge. Defeated from the path of the teaching of knowledge and karma. Both. They become ineligible for knowledge and karmas. That is what is a parabhahu. And Bhagavan also says in Gita, Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha. To die in following one's own dharma, the right path is great. Paradharmo, the wrong path prescribed by others, is a fear bringing. It brings fear in this world, and it brings fear in the other worlds also. And taduktam rishina. Rishi means here mantras. There Aitreya Brahmana, this is Aitreya mantra, the Samhita portion. That also says the same thing. What does it say? Prajahatisro atyayamiyo anya akarmam arkam abhito vivishre brihathatasto bhuvaneshu antah pavamano harita avivesha. Prajahatisro atyayamiyo. There are three kinds of prajas, beings, which got lost. Atyayam ihu, which gained this state of being defeated. Anyanya, the others, other than these three, what did they do? Arkam abhito vivishre. They took refuge on both ways, through the karmas and through the knowledge. The arka. Arka normally means sun. Here arka means the fire, because sun is said in the next line. So they took refuge of sun. Okay. Then brahatasto bhuvaneshu antaha. And that which exists in the middle of the creation, they resorted to that. They worshipped that, the sun that exists in the middle of the creation, illumining all the creation. Pavamano harita avivesha. Pavamana means puim pavane, that purifier, the air. The air which flows harita in all directions, avivesha, they took refuge in that. Okay. Yet or avivesha means entering harita, all the directions, that pavamana, that air which exists, that vivishre, they took refuge. So the other people, they took refuge in the fire, sun and air, worshipping them. These three, they got lost. They got destroyed. Who are these three? Prajaha disro atyayamihu iti. Who are these three? Yavaita imaha prajaha tisro atyayam ayanstan imani vayamsi vangavagadhascha irapada. So you said three people got lost. Who are they? Attayamayan. Who are they who got lost, who got destroyed? Tani, Imani. These are the three. Who are they? First, Vayamsi. Second, Vanga Avagadhaha. Third, Irapada Padaha. Vayamsi means Vehe Gato. That's the root word. Where Gato. To go, to move. Vayaha means Vayu. That which travels in the air, the birds. Vayamsi means the birds. Birds are the first one which lost the path. Okay. Second one, Vanga Avagadhaha. Vanga Avagadhaha. Vangaha Vanagaha Vrikshaha. Avagadhaha Oshadesha. Vanga means the big trees. Avagadha means the small trees, small plants, which become medicine or food. So these trees and the plants, these also lost their path. Third, this is the second. Vangavagadhaha is the second. The trees and plants, that is the second. The third one is Irapadaha. Irapadaha. Ira actually is Ura. Urapadaha. And there is a Visarga. Urafpadaha. That is how it should be. That is why it says Irapadaha. Urafpadaha. Means Sarpade. Uraha Padaha Yasya. For which the chest is the leg. Snake, etc., which travels with the chest as its leg. So those beings, they also. So the birds, the plants and trees, and the reptiles. These are the three which got lost. Tathacha Ishavasye Avidvad Ninda. Why is this said to have Shraddha? Why is that said? Because if you take the wrong path, you will get lost from both this world and the other world, both the jnana and karma. Therefore, for people to not give up this Shraddha to gain Vairagya, this is it. Okay? No. तथा च ईशावास्ये अविद्वन्निन्दार्थो mantra. Similarly, in Ishavasya Upanishad also there is a mantra which despises the avidvan. Avidvan means the ignorant, which condemns the ignorant. What does it say? Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavrutāha tanste pretyabhigachanti eke cha atmahano janaha iti. Asurya nama te lokaha andhena tamasa avrutaha tan te pretya abhigachanti eke cha atmahano janaha. Asurya nama te lokaha. They go to the world. Lokaha means lokyante, drishyante, bhujyante. Local darshana is the root word. From that, lokaha means the world which are perceived and the world which are experienced. Okay, so what is the world we are talking about? Asurya nama lokaha. The world which is called as Asurya. Asurya means the asura, that which belongs to asuras, the demons. What does that mean? Hell. No, it is not hell. Here, what asura means, the world right from the Brahma till the small plant. Everything is asura. From the standpoint of Brahman, all these world are asura world of demons. Even the greatest world is demonic world. So, and what kind of world they are? Andena tamasa avrutaha. Andena means blinding. Tamasa means darkness. Avrita means veiled. That which is veiled by blinding darkness. Because you don't know what is right and what is wrong. You don't know the path of knowledge, etc. Therefore, you are entering the world of blinding darkness. Tan te pretyavachanti. They, after death, from here, pretya abhigachanti. They enter that path. Who? Ekacha atmahano janaha. Those who atmahano janaha. Atmanam granti iti atmahana. These people who kill the atma, the self. But you said atma is Brahman. Brahman is Satyam. That which is not negated in all three periods of time. And how can these people kill the Brahman itself? Are they so great? Greater than Brahman to kill the Brahman? No. To kill the Brahman means to not recognize it for what it is. To not see for what it is. If you don't recognize something as that thing, then you have already killed it. Like a book misplaced is a book lost, we say. Similarly, if you have a misplaced idea over something, then you have destroyed it. The self which is eternal, absolute, etc., if you are going to see it as non-eternal and limited, then you have destroyed it. Not just that. Why do they kill that Brahman? Why do they kill that? Because of the defect of ignorance. Okay? Asanneva savavati, asat brahmeti vedachet. Iti Taittiriya Upanishad also says, asadeva savavati, asat brahmeti vedachet, asti brahmeti chet, vedathantam tato vidruti. If they say, I know the Brahman exists, then the saints, they say, oh, this fellow knows. But at the same time, asan eva sabhavati, this fellow is Asat, non-existent, void, dark, black. Why? Asat Brahmeti Vechadi. If he says the Brahman is non-existent, then he will also become non-existent. Because he is of the nature of Brahman. If Brahman is non-existent, he himself is non-existent. That is what is the idea. Okay? So he is not right. Asan also means he is not right. He is a person who is wrong. And by giving up all the path of greatness, he is destroying himself. Meaning he becomes a Nastika. Nastika normally termed as atheist. Here atheist means a person who does not believe in the path of truth. Tatra Shakuntalopa Vyakhyanam. You are giving only the Shruti. It is not just Shruti. The Smriti also says Shakuntalopa Vyakhyanam. The story of Shakuntala. There also, in the story of Shakuntala also, this is said. Yo anyatha santamatmanam anyatha paripadyate kim tena nakritam papam chorenatmapaharina iti alam ati prasangena. This is enough. We have spoken too much regarding this. After writing 20-30 pages, he is saying he has spoken too much of it. Okay. Now, yo anyatha santam atmanam. What did Shakuntala in the Shakuntala story say? Yo anyatha santam atmanam anyatha pratipadyate. One who sees, pratipadyate, sees, understands atmanam. The atmana which is anyatha, of different type, as different type. One who sees Atma, which is Ajara, Amara, etc., which is unborn, eternal, defectless, etc., to be doer, limited, experiencer, etc., then Kim Tenana Kritam Papam, what kind of sin he has not performed? He has performed all these sins, because every sin starts with ignorance, the non-understanding of your inherent nature. Therefore, if you see the self to be something else, then you have performed all the sins in the world. Chorena atma paharina, because this fellow is a thief who has stolen his self. What does that mean? See, what does a thief say? After stealing something, he says, no, I didn't do it. Similarly, this fellow, after seeing himself to be a doer, experience, etc., says, no, I am not the self. Therefore, this fellow is also a thief. Okay. So, therefore, with this, he is bringing an end to the whole discussion of the Pavitranam Pavitram Yo Mangalanam Cha Mangalam Daivatam Devatanam Cha Yo Bhut Shushupt Yo Bhut Kuman. Yo Bhut Avyef1. Yo Bhut Avyef1. So that comes to an end. We'll see this. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.